Welcome back to the Real Estate 401k Show. I'm your host, Mike Weinstein, alongside Justin Frederick and Ryan Gerdes. It is Friday, and Friday's the opportunity to share stories and progress reports of listeners that we're working with, and as well as share one of our favorite things to do in the Valley. And this is a good one coming up. That's a really good one. That might be the most creative one to date, but you're going to want to go ahead and text the word story to 623-AZ-RECON. That's story to 623-AZ-RECON, because as we tell these stories, you're going to want to be part of our storyline, and you're going to want our help in really helping you achieve your real estate success. So, Ryan, why don't I start with you?
All right. Well, this one's going to be both a happy and sad story, but mostly happy. We're going to get it figured out because we don't talk a whole lot about floodplains and floodways on here, and so we're going to go ahead and call it a development going on in Whitman. We've talked about it a little bit before. So we have 40 acres slated for new home builds, and we got the first one done. And although he's been building homes for years and years and years, this is his first time he's gone out on his own, and he started up his own track and got the first one built and under contract, and
awesome.
And we've pretty much set the market out there because this is more of a premium quality build, and so it deserves a more premium price, and the buyers couldn't be more happy, the sellers couldn't be more happy. So one of the big things that we always face whenever we're building and developing is, a lot of things, but utilities. Utilities are always going to be a huge hurdle, and that's even if utilities are right there on property.
Mm-hmm.
If you have water, electricity, sewer, everything right there, you're still going to have a lot of engineering. You're still going to have a lot of different, costs and et cetera. Well, this is a county island, and all R43 primarily, rural land, just kind of raw desert, and maybe some agriculture out there. But there is a floodway going through the corner of the lot.
Right.
And that's where he designated to put the well. So because there is no city water out there or no private water companies out there. So we had to put the well on the corner of the lot and the home in the center of the envelope where there is no floodplain. Well, because he put the well in the floodplain, now all of a sudden we have issues. So the issue is not just with, I'll just go down to the county and figure out what they want, pay them a couple of bucks and or maybe make a modification or two. Not that simple. So it needs to go through the municipality. It needs to go through new drawings with the engineer, and it also needs to go through FEMA. And I don't know if you guys have ever tried to work with FEMA, but they move slower than sloths. Like it's like the DMV in Zootopia.
Mm-hmm.
It is painful how slow they are.
That's too bad.
Yeah. So we're gonna get it figured out. The buyer's very understanding. The buyer is not in a great hurry, so they're hanging tough on that. But we're going back and forth with. Maricopa County, fortunately, is pretty easy to work with.
Yeah, they're responsive.
They're responsive, and they say, okay, just give us this document, or give us proof of this change, and we'll send our inspector out there, getting FEMA to get out there and do what they need to do in order to just tell us what we need to do in order to fix this thing. We'll get it done, and then come back out, make sure it's done, and then stamp it. It's just not as easy as that, and I we don't have enough time to go through all the intricacies as to why, but ultimately it boils down to them just either, I don't know if they're just overloaded or if it's just not that big of a deal for them and they don't care as much or what it is, but so we're dealing with that. We'll get the deal done. We'll get it closed. We're going to continue to expand on the subdivision and build some amazing properties out there, and
good learning lesson.
It is. And so he's, it's not just myself that's learning, and obviously the builder's learning a lot too from that. But yeah, so if you're going to dig a well, you still have to make sure it's out of the floodplain.
Well, I would just say this. I don't like to compliment you very often, but there are very few agents out there that can walk a seller through this. And
Thank you,
and
buddy.
he because my story, I think about the agents in my story that on the
Oh
other
my
side.
goodness,
I'm
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I mean, not a chance.
No chance.
Justin.
All right, so I had an individual that had a client. This agent came to my DSCR loan class out in Chandler. He had a client that was moving here from California, already bought a primary with a lender, and was looking at getting an investment property. Got denied on the investment property due to debt to income ratios. And so he called me up and asked me to do a DCR for him. Guy was super excited. Rate was a little higher on the DSCR, not too much. Obviously they got denied, so I was trying to hurry through it. Ordered the appraisal right away. This appraiser gave us a terrible number on what the rent would be.
Oh, rent.
So I just got this news just before we're recording this, and I told my team, I said, "Hey, let's do an air DNA on this bad boy, see what it comes out to be." And so we're looking at doing that right now. They gave this guy $850 a month in rent. It is a condo, but still $850.
Is it
I don't
one
know.
bedroom in Scaryvale?
No, it's 3 bedrooms.
Where?
It's downtown Phoenix. Yeah.
Good luck trying to get anything in downtown for $850 a
Right.
month.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, you're out of your
You got
mind.
to share a cardboard box in downtown.
So
Phoenix for
I'm like,
$850
it's
a month.
downtown. We'll look at doing an Airbnb out of it. So yeah, that's where we're at. But even if it doesn't turn out, this guy will continue to work with me because we had it approved before we had the appraisal in, and he was like, this is so fast. And it was so nice because he had just worked with the other lender on his primary, and it made us look really good, which was nice.
Good for you, buddy.
Yeah.
Well, I promised everybody an update. So last week I talked about we're helping this couple buy a place up in New River. We always talk about how there's just deals to be had. We take advantage of sellers and take advantage of the market, but it's a little bit different when the house just goes on the market. When the seller even hasn't had time to play the market. You don't have as much of negotiation room, but apparently you do.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about just what a bunch of yahoos these agents are, and just the information that they gave us when we walked in the door. And so now we go through the process. We went through the inspection process, issues with the roof. So we got a couple of roof quotes, issue with the well. So we got a quote on the well and a couple other issues. But we started out, their list price was $525, and keep in mind the house just went on the market that weekend, and
It wasn't even on the market, was it? It was
just
coming
went-
soon.
It
Okay.
just went on the market. Coming soon when I found it.
Okay.
But it just got on the market, so $525, and we got the seller right away to accept $500 plus $10,000 for our buyers and seller concessions. So now we've got all these roof and then issues with the trusses. Like I'd personally never seen that where two of the trusses weren't even long enough, didn't even connect.
I've seen them broken. I've
Right.
seen them
Seen 'em broken.
damaged. I've never seen, I don't know who.
What city inspector let him through?
I don't
that,
know.
you
I don't know.
But like, hey, it's too short, doesn't fit. Let's walk away.
Yeah.
Let's see what
Looks
happens.
good for our
Yeah.
house.
Yeah, good enough for the women I date.
Yeah, yeah. It was like, I'm like, because that's the one thing, when they could have accepted the property and not made a big deal about the trusses, but then one day they're going to go sell it, and it just that problem will never go away until it's fixed. So we ended up with a $15,000 quote to get the roof replaced, the underlayment replaced, and got the their portion of the shared well covered. The trusses are going to be fixed, and then I just thought, okay, so we're gonna have to negotiate. And it had termites. So I'm like, okay, I need to throw some stuff in here that we're willing to just say, okay, we'll negotiate. We don't need that. We don't need that. So I've never asked for a 5-year termite treatment warranty plan. I thought, hey, might as well just throw in the big bad home warranty. We're not really big on home warranties, but that they're going to counter it out. Not a big deal. And they're just like, yep, no problem. We'll take it. No counters, no pushback. And now we got the next one, and we'll tell the story next week. Now we just got the septic report,
Yeah.
and that's got $2,700 worth of repairs. And so I just text the agent and I go, I don't know if we can close without this getting done. She goes, well, talk to your lender. I ignored her, and she goes, well, now we're gone up from $16,000 in concessions up to 20. I don't know what my seller's going to say, and dude, I'm just gonna ignore it for the day. I'm just gonna let her and her sellers just stew on
Let the
this.
seed grow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, we we invite you to be part of our story. If you need help in building wealth, oh man,
Drink some water.
yeah. If you need some help building wealth in real estate, looking for strategies, all you got to do is text the word story to 623 AZ Recon. That's story to 623 AZ Recon. And every Friday, we kind of talk about what our favorite thing is. And Ryan came up with one a couple weeks ago. We put it on the whiteboard. And I think this is one of the most creative ones.
It's a fun one.
It's a fun one. So go.
All right. So, I mean, if you've flown in and out of the greater Phoenix area, the primary airport here is Sky Harbor Airport. And gosh, by the end of this thing, you're gonna think we're all a bunch of alcoholics, I'm sure. But the prompt is, what's your favorite place to hang at the airport while you're waiting to jump on your flight? All right, Justin, I'll let you go first, buddy.
First of all, I go to airport early for the reason of hanging out at the airport. I mean, I like to have a relaxing ride on the plane and have a couple drinks. I don't like to drink before I go drive to the
I
airport.
do know this. I like to fly with you guys. That was 5:40 in the morning when we started.
Yeah. So I'm going to be honest. I like whatever place that serves food and alcohol that's closest to my gate. That's the one I want to be at. I haven't found a bad place in the airport to sit at. If I had a choice, though, I like the Four Peaks Brewing Company.
That's in
there.
Terminal 3, right?
I'm not a. No, it's not.
It's not?
No.
Maybe that's the Santan Brewery. But anyhow, go ahead.
All right, for me, depends on whether I'm traveling with my wife or not, because my wife's got all these fancy credit cards, and so when I'm traveling with her, we're in whatever airline admirals club that there is.
Oh, yeah.
And they always got a bar, not the most extensive bar, but it makes me feel like I'm someone important.
You're special.
And there's the food's not always great, but it's all free.
Yep.
And the liquor's free, and the chairs are as
Oh, yeah.
comfortable as you can imagine. But when I'm not flying with my wife, I sometimes like to just stay on the other side of security before I go through security. One of my favorite restaurants there in Terminal 4 is Chelsea's Kitchen.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It's a good one. And then
I've never been there.
And then I'm like, and then they got their main restaurants on Camelback.
Okay.
In the Biltmore area. It's a great date night place.
Okay.
It goes beyond your 1.5 mile radius
Yeah.
from home. So sorry, Sabrina.
Yeah.
You're
not going.
But then if I'm going to go through security, then I'm like Justin. Because Terminal 4 is huge. So I like to be by my gate. And whatever place I see, 4 roses, I'm in.
Okay. All right. I mean, yeah. So obviously the place that we go to the most is wherever's the closest to the gate, like you, Justin. Chelsea's Kitchen is a good one if you're like either waiting for somebody or if you're, you know what we like doing is going to Chelsea's Kitchen when we're done with a flight. Like if we get in early and it's just like, I don't have anything going on for the rest of the day. I haven't had breakfast or haven't had lunch or whatever, just jump into Chelsea's. That's a pro move right there.
It's a bold move, Cotton.
That's right. My wife will tell you wherever there's a massage chair, but the Phoenix Beer Company is always right by one of the gates whenever we're going to Alaska. And that's obviously one of my favorite places to go, hence wearing my Homer Romer shirt today. So I'm getting ready to go fishing next week. But that's right. The gate is always 1 or 2 gates away from the PHX or Phoenix Beer Company. I don't know what and their food's just okay, but they still have a full bar over there and their beer is good. And I like their layout because You can do like big family style seating. I mean, they do have the smaller tables too, but we're usually traveling pretty deep with a bunch of people, and so we get to go over there and all hang out and kind of get a little saucy before we jump on the plane, and then of course Christine and her mini bar.
She's a pro,
dude. So everyone was
She's
just
a
like,
pro.
I thought you could only bring 3.5 ounces of liquid on a plane. No, you can bring way more than that. You just can't bring it in containers that are larger than 3.5 ounces. So she always has her big Ziploc bag full of those little mini,
Yeah,
whatever.
and when she walks through the airport, her backpack's making that noise
Yeah.
of
It's
glass
clicking.
bottles clinking together.
Yeah, it looks like she's carrying stones in it.
But dude, it is a great move because I've started to do that. Is when I land in other places. There's some airports that have got some great restaurants and local places that you know that are local places. So sometimes before we go get the rental car, or go get the Uber, we get off the plane, and I like to try stuff because I feel like in the last 10 years, airports have upped the game
100%.
when it comes down to restaurant options.
Of course, yeah. Good stuff, man.
All right, well, there it is. If you're looking for some more information on building real estate wealth strategies, all you got to do is text the word STORY to 623-AZ-RECON. That's STORY to 623-AZ-RECON.